Okay, so have you ever noticed how tough it can be to make a decision when you feel like you just don't have all the information?
Oh, absolutely. It's like you're stuck in that analysis paralysis.
Yeah,
You know?
totally. Like even something trying to pick a new phone plan with
Right.
all those gigabytes and options and all,
Yeah,
it can be totally overwhelming.
it is. And then on top of that, imagine trying to factor in all the unknowns of the future.
Oh gosh, don't even get me started.
Right. It's like trying to put together a puzzle, but like half the pieces are missing.
Exactly. And that's kind of what we're diving into today.
Very fun.
We've got all this research on how decisions get made, plus this super interesting PhD thesis we found.
Okay.
All about like anticipating the future and stuff.
I like it.
And don't worry, we'll spare you the super technical jargon. Think of it like a cheat sheet for navigating uncertainty and making choices that like keep our options open for the future.
Okay. So how do we get started with this?
Well, to start off, I think it's interesting how nature has already figured out ways to deal with uncertainty.
Right.
We're talking about like systems that anticipate things, make decisions without needing to see the whole picture.
Interesting. So give me an example of one of these systems.
Okay. Well, imagine like a plant that grows towards the shade.
Okay.
It's not that the shade itself is good or bad. It's the plant's ability to like anticipate.
Right.
That the shade means cooler temperatures.
Right.
And a better chance of survival.
It's a safe bet.
Exactly. Even without knowing for sure.
Interesting.
So it's making a smart guess with limited information.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Kind of like how we use resumes and interviews for jobs.
Oh.
Like they give us clues about a candidate, but they don't actually predict the future.
Exactly. Exactly. And this whole idea of anticipation is becoming even more important now.
Right.
With all the constant change and what ifs in the world.
For sure. So then the question is, how do we get better at this whole anticipating thing?
Right.
Especially when it's not always clear what the right answer is.
Okay, so let's get practical then.
Okay.
Give me a real world scenario where this comes into play.
Okay, well, let's say you're trying to decide between two job offers.
Okay.
One offers a great salary.
Right.
But not a lot of opportunity for growth.
Okay.
The other one, maybe not as much money up front.
Yeah.
But it has the potential for you to move up in your career. You don't have a crystal ball. How do you know which path will be more fulfilling in the long run?
It's a tough one. Or imagine this, you're developing a marketing campaign for a new product.
Okay.
But it feels like the market changes every single day.
Oh, I know that feeling.
You're trying to figure out what customers want, but their preferences are like constantly shifting.
Right. Talk about decision fatigue.
Yeah. And this is where this PhD thesis we read comes in.
Okay.
It talks about this idea called anticipatory stochastic multi-objective optimization.
Okay.
Or ASMO.
Catchy.
Right. But before you tune out, think of it this way. It's basically about finding the choice that keeps the most doors open in the future.
Okay, so instead of stressing over the best outcome today,
right,
we're thinking about options and possibilities.
Exactly. It's like that choose your own adventure thing.
Oh, I love those books.
And make sure you're not closing yourself off from experiencing the best parts of the story.
I love that analogy. Okay, so how does this ASMO thing actually work in practice?
Well, it's less about magic and more about a way of thinking that we can all tap into.
So how do we actually do that? How do we find those flexible choices in real life?
This is where it gets really interesting. This ASMO thing.
Okay.
It uses this concept called the stochastic Pareto frontier.
Okay, now you're just using big words to make me feel like I haven't done my homework?
No. It's not like that at all. It's really not as complicated as it sounds.
Okay.
Think of it like a map.
Okay.
But not like a regular map. This map shows you all sorts of different routes you can take to reach your goals. But here's the cool part. It also factors in all those unexpected detours and surprises that life throws your way.
So it's like it knows we're not going to follow the plan exactly.
Exactly. It's like saying, hey, you might encounter some roadblocks, maybe even some shortcuts.
Right.
So be ready to adapt.
Oh, okay. I'm liking where this is going. So it's less about like rigidly sticking to one path and more about like keeping our options open.
Exactly. And it reminds us that the best choice we make today might not be the best one tomorrow.
Right.
And that's okay. The important thing is to be flexible and open to those changes as they come up.
Yeah, that makes me feel a lot less pressure than like trying to predict the future perfectly.
Right. It's so much less stressful this way. And that's why this whole flexibility thing is so important.
Okay, so how does that actually work in a practical sense?
Well, think about that classic scenario where someone encounters a bear in the wild.
Oh, no.
What's your first instinct? To run away, right?
Get me out of there.
But what if the bear is just curious? What if it's not actually trying to attack?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess running could make things worse.
Exactly. You might actually provoke it by running sometimes the most flexible choice.
And in that case, the safest choice.
Right. Is to just pause, observe, and keep your options open.
Don't be a hero, got it.
It's about gathering more information before you make a move.
Oh, okay, so it's like taking a breath before we react.
Exactly.
So we don't accidentally make things worse.
Yes. And how do you think this applies to those everyday decisions, like choosing between job offers?
Okay, so instead of jumping into problem-solving mode and stressing about making the right decision, we take a step back and think about all the possibilities.
Right. What information do you need? What are some paths you haven't thought of yet?
And make sure we have room to adapt as things change.
You've got it. And this is where that hypervolume idea comes in.
Hypervolume. Okay, so what's that? Is that another one of those big scary terms?
I don't know. This one is actually pretty simple. Imagine you're comparing vacation packages.
Okay.
One package offers you this amazing luxury resort, but you're kind of stuck there.
Okay.
You can only do the activities they offer, and it's all super expensive.
Right.
The other package is a little more basic in terms of lodging.
Okay.
But it includes tours and rentals, and you have the freedom to explore on your own.
Okay, so it's more flexible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which one do you think gives you a richer, more well-rounded experience?
Probably the second one, even though the hotel isn't as fancy.
Right, because it gives you more possibilities.
Okay, so hypervolume is about how much potential each choice has.
You got it. It's like a way to size up our options based on how many doors they open for us.
And the ASMO model uses that to help us make better decisions.
Exactly. It's like having a decision-making compass that points us towards the paths with the most potential detours, scenic routes, and exciting unknowns.
Okay, so instead of feeling lost in the fog of uncertainty,
Right.
we can use this anticipatory thinking to actually make uncertainty work for us.
Yes.
Okay, so instead of getting caught up trying to find the absolute perfect choice.
Which is impossible, by the way.
Right. Especially when we don't have all the info. We can kind of borrow from these anticipatory systems and focus on maximizing our flexibility and future possibilities.
Right. It's about opening those doors instead of closing them.
Exactly. And that reminds me, we talked about this hypervolume idea.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
It's like having this tool to measure how much potential each choice has.
Right. Like how many possibilities each path could lead to.
Yes. So we're not just making decisions in the dark, we're actually thinking about how those decisions could play out down the line.
It's like you're choosing a direction, but you're also keeping in mind that you might change course along the way.
I like that. So it's less about like predict the future and more about give yourself options for the future.
Exactly. You got it.
Which honestly is so much more empowering.
Oh, for sure. It's like you're in the driver's seat. You know?
Yes. Okay, so let's say someone's listening to this and they're like, okay, this is great, but how do I actually put this into practice? What's like the first step?
Well, next time you're facing a decision that has you feeling stuck,
Yeah, okay.
don't jump into problem-solving mode right away.
Okay, so don't panic.
Exactly. Instead, take a breath and ask yourself, how can I approach this like an anticipatory system?
Ooh, I like that. Okay, so instead of getting overwhelmed by all the things we can't control, we shift our focus to like the potential that those unknowns hold.
You got it. Ask yourself, what information am I missing? What are some paths I haven't even considered yet?
And my favorite, how can I keep my options open?
Yes, that's the key.
Yeah.
Because things change and you want to be able to adapt.
Okay, so we're trading in that rigid, gotta find the perfect answer mindset for something way more flexible.
Way more adaptable.
And honestly, way less stressful.
Right. It's about working with the uncertainty, not against it.
This has been awesome. It's like we went from feeling lost in the fog to having a clear path forward.
And remember, you're not a fortune teller. You're a strategist.
Ooh, I like that.
So embrace the unknown, stay flexible, and keep those options open. You never know what amazing opportunities might be waiting just around the corner.
I love it. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.